Hello everyone and welcome to today's Wild Rift video. In today's video we're going to be taking a trip through the jungle with Jarvan the 4th. Now as an AD carry main, sometimes you are going to get auto-filled, and this is the same with every single role. Whether you're a support main, a mid lane main, you're always going to get filled and sometimes have to play other roles, which in my case, in this game, I was auto-filled jungle. Now in my opinion, one of the easiest and one of the best champions to learn in the jungle is Jarvan. Not only because Jarvan has incredible lockdown with his ultimate, but he also is one of the best ganking junglers in the game. You can easily get from one side of the map to the other very, very quickly, and you can gank as early as level 3 because you have your flag and drag combo with your third ability and your first ability, and you'll see in this gameplay how you can use it to your advantage and how you can keep ganking and get an advantage for your team. Now this is very different to playing someone like, I don't know, Shyvana jungle, which might be a bit on the easier side if you don't want to try and land any sort of skill shots and you just want to farm as much as possible. But in general, it's so great to pick up a jungler that can gank a lot and that can get an advantage for your team. You'll see also in this gameplay that being a jungle main can also be a little bit of a struggle as well, because sometimes you're actually going to be ahead a lot, but might still lose out on some objectives, which we'll see later on that maybe my smites are not as strong as what they can be, I guess you could say. But overall, I mean, you're seeing this gameplay that it's, Jarvan's still a great champion to play. As you can see, the full jungle clear is very, very quick. 1 minute and 35 seconds roughly to clear through the whole jungle. I was a little bit slow when taking red buff and these little krugs, but in general, pretty fast jungle clear. And sometimes you'll be able to get over to the scuttle crab as well. In the early game, this is kind of all you really do on every jungler. It's very rare that you actually gank at level 3. I would say maybe some of the only junglers that want to gank at level 3 is someone like Rammus, who doesn't have the fastest jungle clear, but you have your taunt to your advantage. But when you get to level 5 with Jarvan, you become one of the best junglers in the game. And look how broken the jungle role is, by the way. You're level 5 and the enemy bot lane is level 3. This happens to me so many times. I'm playing in bot lane, we're having a 2v2, we're skirmishing, we're doing some crazy fights, we're farming up some minions, and meanwhile a level 5 Jarvan or Talon just runs at me and I'm dead because I'm only level 3. This happens so many times, and it's crazy how much XP and gold you get in the early game as a jungler, and how much an advantage you can get before basically the game even starts. I mean, the game's 3 minutes in and I'm already nearly level 6 and I already have so much gold under my belt. So yeah, it's really disgusting, and I honestly think that Riot should actually change how much experience you get as a jungler, because as I mentioned, being able to gank as a jungler at level 5 and the bot lane being only level 3, there is just no counterplay at all. I mean, you flash away from someone like a Jarvan, there's nothing you can do about it. Really nice ulti here from the Lux, and we're gonna hopefully, yep, secure that kill. I can try and fight the Talon here, but I might be I might be a little bit of a struggle. But you can see in this game, I'm just ganking lane after lane after lane. There is nothing that the enemy could do about it. Caitlyn's here. Oh, dash over the wall, kill Caitlyn. Maokai's here. Okay, I thought I was gonna ulti Maokai there, but I didn't. But you can do that if you want to as well. You can just ulti Maokai and get the kill. There you go. 24's completed already at 4 minutes in the game. I'm just waiting here to see if I actually gank this Maokai. Trying to remember what I actually do here. I'm not too sure what this Maokai is thinking, to be honest with you. This Maokai is absolutely crazy. Ultimate's down. Should be able to secure the kill here. I mean, Maokai does have a lot of healing, but there you go. I think Maokai tried to freeze the wave to try and deny some of the minions from dying. Sometimes supports like to do that. They like to tank a bunch of the minions and tank a bunch of the damage, so then you can basically, the ADC just comes back and farms all the minions instead of losing the gold to the tower. Yeah, that was a mistake. Look at that. 24's completed 4 minutes into the game. I actually like rushing 24's at the moment on junglers. In general, 24's is one of the best items in the game right now. It's absolutely disgusting how strong this item is. And sometimes I'm even skipping boots. You can see in this game, I'm skipping boots entirely and I'm going straight for Trinity Force. It does help that I have 4 kills and 1 assist in this game, so I can actually afford Trinity Force. But even if you don't get any kills and you focus on farming more than anything else, you can still focus on buying Trinity Force before the first objectives are up. Because the item is a little bit cheaper than what it was before, but also the stats are just still great. This is a common mistake that, of course, many junglers have, and some of you might have seen my post from today. Rift Herald over Dragon. You 99% of the time always want to go for Rift Herald. And the reason being is that dragons are just very weak. Dragons only give you a 2% buff. That is it. And as you can see here, I'm going to be able to use the Rift Herald in the top lane here. Watch my gold here. I got so much gold just from them tower platings itself, and then we're gonna get first tower of the game and get another 300 gold just like that. Look at that. I basically got like 1,000 plus gold by taking Rift Herald, using a top lane, taking all the tower platings, which the tower platings are going to be 75 gold every single time because I'm sharing it with the Irelia, and also you get first tower of the game. And honestly, Irelia might be able to get second tower there. Honestly, I probably should have stayed to try and get the second tower there, but unfortunately I couldn't. And what did the enemy team get? 2% stats from Mountain Dragon, which is basically nothing at this point of the game. You're getting like probably 1 extra armor and 2 extra mag resist, or maybe 2 extra armor and 1 extra mag resist. With that 1,000 gold, hey, you can spend that money on a lot more armor and a lot more mag resist if you really want to. So I think this just shows how much momentum and how much swinging gold that you can get from taking Rift Herald first. And the crazy thing is that the enemy jungler took down my mid laner, so I was actually at disadvantage. I should be the one going for Dragon in this situation because Talon got a really good kill on the mid lane just before the objective spawn. And at that point, the Victor can rotate to the Herald, the Talon can rotate to the Rift Herald as well, and they can easily take that Rift Herald. And I might have to be the one that has to just go for the Dragon, and that's it. Some people say if you take Dragon, then you deny the soul. That's completely fake news. Dragon soul that spawns in the next 10 minutes. Anything can happen in the next 10 minutes. Anything at all can happen. So you taking first Dragon because you want to deny the Dragon soul, it's just, yeah, it's terrible. It's a terrible decision to make. You never want to do it. Like I said, anything can happen at that point. And look at that. We got 2 towers in the top lane. So we just got so much gold for our entire team. And it's not just for me and Irelia. It's for the Lux. It's for the bot lane as well. And like I said, all they got was 2% buff. Which even if you think about it in the late game, if you have like, I don't know, 200 armor or something like that, even then, you get basically no armor and mag resist at all. Another gank in the bot lane. Boom. Swing onto the Talon there. Another quick kill there for the Talon. Yeah, it's just... I don't know how else to explain it to people with like Rift Herald versus dragons, but like I said, it's just completely pointless taking a dragon this early on in the game. And what you can do is if you take the first Rift Herald, you use the extra gold that you're getting with the Rift Herald in the first tower to contest the second dragon. You can then fight towards the second dragon instead, secure that second dragon, and then you denied the soul anyway. So you're already up thousands of gold because of the momentum and the swing that you got with the tower platings and taking first tower of the game. But now you've also denied Dragon's soul anyway by taking the second dragon of the game. Because you have to remember, these players have to get 3 dragons and they spawn once every, what was it, 4.5, 5 minutes. So again, you're waiting another 10 minutes to try and get this dragon soul, and you're already playing from behind. You'll be behind so much in gold and so much in value. And another thing with this Rift Herald, these Rift Heralds as well, is that you need to make sure that you use the Rift Herald straight away before the tower platings drop, which I believe the tower platings drop at, is it 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes, roughly around that time. I can't remember the time exactly off the top of my head, but you want to make sure you use the Rift Herald before that time, so then you could get the extra gold from the tower planes, which, like I said, if you're by yourself, you get 150 gold per tower plating. But if you're with some allied champions nearby, you share the gold amongst yourself. So it's still really good overall. As you can see in this game, I kind of seen the power really of Jarvan. I think I flashed in this bush because I thought that Talon was going to be there, but he wasn't, unfortunately. I'm actually not quite sure why I flashed. I must have seen someone there. And there you go. Look at that. Dragon spawns in the next, 5 seconds. We're so far ahead now in gold and so far ahead in momentum. Look at that. We can secure the second dragon. Just like that. As easy as that, right? Unfortunately, it's not as easy as that. I'm not too sure if it's this early on, though. I don't think it's this early on in the game, but you'll see that sometimes my smites are a little bit off. Oh, that was the... How did I miss that, by the way? I kind of want to go back and watch that again. How did it... like, for some reason, I was waiting for the Maokai damage to come on through with the ultimate, but for some reason, there was this crazy burst damage from something, and I don't know what it was. I think it was Lux Q. Yeah, look, Lux Q'd it here. This Lux Q really put me off guard because it went down to 100 and I still had Smite, and I just didn't think that the Lux Q would do that much damage. I thought that was the Maokai damage on the ultimate. So I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. And then, yeah. Well, I mean, you can secure Dragon if you're not like me and if you completely misplay. But, yeah. It's fine anyway. It's not the end of the world. We could just secure the third Dragon anyway. Right? Right? Yeah. Sometimes that can happen. Of course, sometimes you get a bit surprised by your team's damage, but in general, I completely misplayed. It was really, really bad misplay. I mean, that should have never happened. But we're still getting kills. We're still getting ganks off. So, hey, that's not that bad, right? Doesn't matter about dragons. I mean, to be honest, even the dragon souls itself are not really that strong. The dragon souls in itself are also not really that strong. So, I'm going to try and kill the Talon here. I'm not too sure if I actually kill him. Yeah, I do kill him. Gargoyle Stoneplate is also very powerful as well. I thought Gargoyle Stoneplate was going to be a lot weaker because of the changes that happened to it, but it's still very, very powerful. And another thing as a jungler that you need to keep in mind as well is that when the enemy jungler is down, like when the enemy jungler is dead, you always will want to look to try and invade, because sometimes it's very difficult to invade in Wild Rift, but when the enemy jungler is down, it's free reign for you to invade. You saw earlier on that I was stealing, red buff. I was stealing the walls, and you stealing gold gives you double the net amount of profit, if that makes sense, because you're gaining gold and also the enemy jungler is losing gold. So instead of you just farming your own camps and you getting a net, ×1, I guess you can say, in terms of how much money you're getting, you denying enemy jungle camps means that you're up the gold and also you're denying the enemy jungler gold at the same time. So it's, twice the amount of money that you're basically getting, because you're denying gold and you're also gaining gold at the same time. So it gives you a crazy amount of value. I'm trying here to try and get onto the Caitlyn. I kind of a misplay actually that I jumped onto the Caitlyn here, because I should have realized that she still had her net available. Yeah, I probably should have realized that, to be honest with you, but hey, that's completely fine. We were still able to deny them and get a bit ahead. I go back to the base now, spend my 3,000 gold that I have, get Death Stance, since they have a lot of AD damage this game. They have Caitlyn, Camille, Talon, so Death Stance in general is a very, very strong item here. I do need to get some sort of anti-heal. I wonder if I get anti-heal at all this game, because you have like Maokai healing. Talon is bot lane, so we could start this Baron if we want to. But you see how I'm pinging my enemies for danger now, because I don't feel confident. When that happens to you, by the way, as a jungler, when you lose a smite fight like that, you lose a lot of confidence in yourself. And sometimes it can get very, very difficult. So I wanted to secure that kill onto the Talon. And it's really important to use your pings to your advantage and make sure you use them to tell your team what you want to do. In scenarios like that, for example, it's like, I don't want to risk a 50-50 smite with a Talon. I want to secure the kill onto Talon and then try and get the objective afterwards. As I said before, it's not that easy. it's not that easy. Yeah. This game is hilarious, by the way. When have you ever seen a jungler miss smite twice to a Maokai? When has that ever happened to you? Come on, admit it. And the reason why I wanted to show this gameplay, even though I'm kind of making embarrassing myself and I'm laughing, but inside my soul I am dying right now by watching this back. It's because even if you lose objectives, you can still win games. You know, we're still so far ahead this game that even though we're losing objectives, I mean, they are making mistakes. Even though we do keep losing objectives, like the Baron, like the Dragon, the early gold that we got with Rift Herald still gave us a good amount of money to be able to get a good amount of gold this game, you know, and get a good enough lead that even if we do lose objectives, we're actually still ahead in gold, which I believe we still are. I believe we're still ahead in gold. They might even get the Dragon Soul here as well. I'm not too sure where the talent is. I should be checking the Dragon right now. But luckily Lux is there to help me out with trying to take the Dragon, or trying to get vision around the Dragon. Oh, look, the talent's dead. Surely I get this objective, right, chat? Surely? I don't think I'm going to be able to kill this Camille. Look how much damage you do as a Jarvan, by the way. Like, you reducing your armor on your Q is crazy, crazy strong. Oh. Maokai's traveling a little bit there. Okay, look. Maokai ultimate down. It's all looking good, right? It's all looking good for us to take Dragon. Right? Surely, you know, I don't even remember this point. I actually don't remember at this point if we took this Dragon or if I got it stolen again. I might have got it stolen again. I can't remember. Okay. Thank God I got this Dragon, because if they would have got Dragon Soul, maybe it might have been a little bit difficult, but we finally secured the Dragon. And we go back in, ultimate in. God, I have so much survivability. It's crazy, no? How am I still alive, by the way? I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Oh, and Lulu ultimate as well. Like, Jarvan is so incredibly powerful. It is crazy. And this is the thing, right? If they got Dragon Soul, then it probably would have been very dangerous for us. I lost Baron. I lost the second Dragon, which they're on Soul Point at that time. But because we're so far ahead in gold, and because we got the picks that we needed to, we were still able to secure the third Dragon. And at that point, the enemy team taking first Dragon meant nothing at all. They got a 2% armor and MR buff, which, like I said, if you have, like, you know, 10 armor, I mean, sorry, if you have 200 armor, that's a 4% buff. Sorry, a 4 armor buff. I'm getting 4 armor at level 15 or whatever with 200 armor. That's it. That's all the stats I'm getting with Dragon. And it's the same with damage. Like, if you have 200 AD, you get a 3% buff, which is whatever, however much that is, like 6 extra AD. That 6 extra AD is worth like 250 gold, if that. A longsword is what, like 11 AD, something like that. So the extra AD and armor that the enemy team is getting from these Dragons is basically worth like 500 gold. It's not worth any gold at all. We actually secured the Baron there in the end, which was actually a really good smite, because we had Caitlyn auto-attacking over the wall. We had Victor as well. Look at my cooldowns as well, by the way, with my Jarvan EQ combo. Like, the mobility that Jarvan has to jump into a fight, jump out of the fight, is just so damn powerful. Exhaust used there on Victor as well, which I am not worried about at all, since I have more of my Mortius now, so a little bit of a magic resist. Lulu's doing really well here, trying to bait the Victor of coming in, but I don't think the Victor's going to take the bait. Or maybe he does. Maybe he does, but no, he doesn't. Baron buff secured at this point of the game is pretty much GG, because, yeah, we were able to take the kills and take the game. But it's game overall, as you can see, you know, as an ADC main, sometimes your smites might miss, sometimes your smites might hit. But I think this game really shows the power of how much momentum and how much gold you're able to get in the early game. And even if you lose the first 2 Dragons, the stats are just not worth it. And sometimes you might int a little bit and lose Baron, lose Dragons and everything else, but we were still able to get a dub in the end. This is one of the games that I played off stream quite a while ago, actually. As you can see, this is when I was Diamond. I'm currently Master with like 20 marks, 25 marks right now. Nearly Grandmaster. Look at that though. 13, 0, and 9. As I say, you know, Jarvan is one of the strongest and one of the easiest champions to pick up when you're playing in the jungle. 25,000 damage overall. Not the most in the entire team, but still a good amount of damage. Consider I'm building Bruiser Jarvan with like 24, Sundered Sky, Death Dance, more of my Mortius. that is a lot of damage. And also we took 32,000 damage as well. Look at our damage taken compared to everyone else in the game. We got like 10 times the amount of everyone else in the game. So not only is the Jarvan a really good tank, but also he's a great crowd control user with his flag and drag. He also has an insane amount of damage, and he's a great jungler to pick up. But hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay anyway, even though I did make a few mistakes here and there. But hopefully this shows you the power of really the new Rift Herald and how powerful it can become. And also, if you do lose a few smites, you can still win the game, and don't be too down on yourself because you'll still be fine. But hopefully you enjoyed the content. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.